Hey, hello, and welcome to Show and Tell. It's me, John Park. Surprised you, didn't I? I'm not Phil Lamore, but I do have a couple of guests, also not Phil Lamore. They're busy. That I want to bring on and show you some of their projects, show you what they're up to. If you are interested in being amongst those people, then head on over to the blog. We've got a link in there that'll show you how to get onto the StreamYard to Show and Tell. Or head over to our Discord over at adafruit.it/Discord. Look for the live broadcast chat channel, and there's a link in there to the StreamYard as well. So starting up tonight, we've got Scott and a PCB. Hello, Scott.
Hello.
It's all this.
Yeah, I'm just about like on vacation. I'm like gone for 2 weeks, and you know what takes 2 weeks?
Tell me. Wait, let me guess. Ordering something and having it.
Ordering from JLC, yeah. So I had like the hardware in the loop test that I had to order, and then I was like, oh, but I have these other two things that I really want to do. And I had like 3 days. I was like, I think I can do it.
Deadline.
Oh, man. So I literally just put my order in, and this is the last thing I was working on. This is, so years ago now, I did the Game Boy cart. You know this because you have a copy.
I've got one. It's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, so I did it originally with the SAMD51, and it didn't quite work well. Like for some reason it stopped working at some point and it wasn't clear why. And we were doing DMA, which was like maybe the DMA is hiccuping, whatever. And then RP2040 came out and we're like, oh, PIO would be really good for this. And then we're like, oh, but wait, like there's not quite enough pins. And then the RP2350 came out and it's like, oh, they had the one with more pins. And so I finally have gotten around to doing a version of this with the RP2350. It's something that Lamore has expressed interest in. So I was like, oh, I bet I could do it. So this is an RP2350 version of that. The idea is that for those of you who weren't here, I don't even know, like 6 years ago or something.
That's meant more. 8 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was pre-pandemic actually that I did it. So the idea is that you put CircuitPython on this, and then you write CircuitPython code that generates instructions to the Game Boy as it's running to cause it to do things. So you're writing Python code to make a game on a Game Boy, and you're basically using the Game Boy as the like sprite engine and the synthesis engine. You're not actually running logic on the Game Boy. It gets a little trickier to read inputs and stuff, but that was the general idea. Mm-hmm. And we got pretty far with it, right? Like we could actually play a game and play sound with it. It was just like somehow like an error would happen and you'd miss a beat and then they'd go off the rails. So we've been wanting to try that with the RP2350, and so this was a chance to do that. So I didn't need any logic shifters anymore for the address lines because it's 5-volt tolerant. Mm-hmm. And then I did just leave one there for the data lines just to make sure that our data signals are going all the way up to 5-volt levels. I also connected the audio here, but I copied a design that I think I just looked at Discord and Toddbot was like, well, I don't think that's what we need because we're doing PWM. So it probably won't work.
So this was something I looked into a little because you had asked. For people who don't know, the Game Boy, the original DMG Game Boy at least, had a pin 31.
Yeah, I have it labeled odd
to the cartridge, and the idea on the Game Boy side was it could receive analog audio from the cartridge, and then mix that into the existing audio of the Game Boy. However, not a single dang thing that at least no official approved authentic Nintendo cartridge ever used that. So it's I think something people only discovered in the modern era and said, hey, wait, if I can, decode an MP3 and play audio right on the cartridge because I'm using, an STM32 or something, then here I can pipe it through and just use the Game Boy as a amplifier and speaker, basically.
Right. Yeah, so I just threw a circuit on there because I was like, I'm deadlined. Like I have to leave and go get kids after this. But it's ordered, and so we're gonna end up doing another revision likely, right? Like So the question is like, okay, what have we tested here? We've tested that the RP2350 circuitry is right. We're testing that the address and data stuff is right. And then the other thing I wanted to do is that I actually ordered it as a 2mm thick PCB, and I've added this outside bit.
Cool.
to act like the actual plastic shell of the cart, so that you don't need a separate plastic shell. So this is always a funny thing. Like, I actually have it here. Here's the one of the original ones, and I have this like donor one where I had to like clip out to get access to these things here. And I just didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted a PCB I could just slide in.
Yeah.
I'm not the first person to do this. I saw some other people do it. But that's one of the other things that I'm testing with this. So I actually like, when I ordered it, I actually asked them to like bevel this bottom edge, and it's actually like gold fingers. Turns out that didn't actually cost anything besides the gold plating.
And have you ever gotten, I feel like I've seen some dev extenders for Game Boy that go in, give you some test points, and then your cartridge kind of goes on top of that. Have you ever messed with that as a way of testing things before a PCB arrives?
Oh, well, I'm quite bad at like jumper wiring everything together. I'm not a great person for that.
Understandable.
I did actually order one of those. I think you and I had talked about this, but I do have them now. It's not something that I was using at the time that I was debugging it.
Yeah.
The other challenge that this has is that it's really wide bus, so actually using like a logic analyzer is quite tricky. Because it's so many pins, right? It's 16 address pins to start with.
Wow.
And so like picking the pins that you actually want to capture with a logic analyzer can be kind of tricky. So it's got me thinking about, again, of like, maybe we figure out how to put two P4s on the same board and do 32 wide capture.
Oh, wow.
I think that would be pretty neat.
So
that sort of thing.
One question I have is on this. Now, obviously, this isn't kind of your primary intention with this, but could this potentially be used as a ROM player? Because I feel like I have one cartridge, that Gator Tech one, and I feel like that's an RP2040, but there's always some very specific stuff you're trying to mimic to act like Flash that the Game Boy's happy about.
Right. I'm not sure. I think it comes down to like straight up like how quickly can you read an address in and get the data out, right? So you're like, how many instructions does it take you to do that?
Yeah.
So this doesn't, like, I think one of those carts has PSRAM on it, and this one doesn't have PSRAM.
So this will be more for writing code and doing interesting hackery and things.
Yeah, it's mainly for CircuitPython.
Yeah.
Maybe people will figure out that like some carts can work that way, right? Like, because we have like 512K RAM in internal RAM, so like that's pretty quick to access. Yeah. If you were doing like PSRAM, you would have to figure out like what the latency of like actually reading from that would be.
I feel like some of the smaller ones like Tetris might be 32K or something like that. I feel like they're fairly small.
Yeah, so like those that you can fit in the RAM of the RP2350 itself, I think are likely to be able to work. In fact, that cart that you sent me earlier today that played that music, like it was only an STM something. Yeah. And I think they were hosting a ROM that they had like hacked in their memory. So they were doing that turnaround time of like read the addresses and get the data back. Yeah. But I suspect that it's like not one of the like, I think the upper limit's like 2 megabytes, right? Yeah. Or something.
So in the previous, the STM32, no, the
SAMD51 is the version I did.
That one you had the MIDI in and out is what those ports are up on the top right, and USB, but now it looks like you've added a STEMMA QT connector, which is pretty interesting.
Yes.
Because now you're talking about weirdo accessories for a Game Boy, potentially. I really like that.
Yeah, I couldn't help myself. Like, STEMMA's great, and what was there before was like the debug connector for the SAMD. But another nicety of the RP2s is that they have ROM UF2 bootloaders, right? So like you don't have this issue that you do with the SAMDs of like, to start initially to get a bootloader on there, I need the SWD pins. That's not the case for the RP23. Both the 2040 and the 2350. So like, I'm like kind of like on faith, not even exposing those pins at all, and just using the USB to do the code loading.
No, I'm excited to see that. I didn't realize you're doing that, but that's really interesting from a like, seesaw doing weird stuff on the other side of the cartridge.
Yeah, we have extra I/O too. Like I think Like, because this is the 80 pin QFN, like, I think I've got like 15 spare IO right now. So it was like, and that was the limiting, one of the limiting factors in the older version, right? Is like, I was just out of pins.
Yeah.
I did almost make the mistake of not doing them contiguous. And I was like, oh yeah, like it'll be easier to route if I like skip these two. And I was like, oh wait,
it doesn't like that, does it?
I want PIO to be like, here's 16 bits and here's 16 bits. Actually, that was the address. Maybe it would have been okay. Anyway, I threw it together. Cool. We'll figure out what works, what doesn't, and we'll do a rev.
We'll have a great vacation, and we'll cross our fingers to see what comes back from JLC when this.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I suspect I'll get home before it arrives, but we'll see.
Oh, great. All right. Thanks so much, Scott. Awesome
Thanks,
stuff.
JP.
Take care. Bye. All right. Next up, we have Liz and Noe. Hi.
Hello. All right. Let's see. What are we working on? Yeah. So we collaborated on this project. You want to show it a little bit closer?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So this is our kind of interpretation of the iconic '90s game Bop It. You ever heard of Bop It?
Bop it, shake it, twist it.
Yeah, it's very, very popular and iconic. So I've always wanted to do like a sci-fi prop, and I kind of came up with this. And Liz, it was kind of your idea to do it as a Bop It game.
Yeah.
So Liz, you did the code, and you kind of picked some of the components, like the alphanumeric display.
Yeah. So we've got, it's a prop maker RP2040 inside running CircuitPython. We've got the alphanumeric display, NeoPixel stick here. To do spin, we're using a Hall effect sensor with a bunch of little magnets. So you can
very cool.
On the edge there. Toggle switch, slide switch, clicky thing it's going to start, and then also the onboard accelerometer. And so the display will show you what command to do, and it'll show the score. And then I'm going to screw it up by doing the wrong thing, and it'll say game over, turns red, and also your score, and then it'll prompt you to start again. But the fun sound effects and everything were done by Dan Q. So he did the background music and
great.
Sound effects. And then I used something in CircuitPython that I hadn't used before, and it was all because I saw an issue go by actually on CircuitPython dev channel in Discord. I saw Toddbot had found an issue with audio speed playback, which I didn't even know we had, that you could change the speed of audio. So as you progress in the game, all the sound effects and the background music progressively faster.
That's great.
So that's also kind of part of it. But yeah, all written in CircuitPython. Guide will be up shortly, and you'll have the video next week.
We're working on it.
Yeah. So
I love it. It's gorgeous. Really cool design.
Thank you. Yeah, I really leaned heavily on like the '90s pop of color and like the weird, like little,
your squiggly and stuff is a little reminiscent of some of those graphical design elements. Yeah, fantastic.
Super
great. Thanks so much. I'm looking forward to your video on it too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Bye.
All right, and next up we've got George. Hey, George.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. Yeah. How you doing?
So it's funny that Scott opened the show talking about how he had about 2 weeks and he needed to get a PCB, so he had to get on that. I had a situation where I had this old design, but it was from way back in the day. I don't know if you remember, John, of us being crazy fools and etching our own circuit boards.
I avoided that, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I had this old project, and I needed to pump out a couple of them, and I didn't have time to wait, or I didn't want to wait. And so I thought, well, how hard could it be? I mean, I used to do this all the time. And so I got the artwork out, and I got the copper clad boards and the drills, and I finally made a board, and then I finally, drilled it, and finally came up with the design. But
nice.
Boy, I'll tell you, I don't think I recommend anyone doing these anymore. It's a real disaster.
I was always terrified of the chemicals. It just seemed like how I'm going to dispose of these things. I didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah. So one of the chemicals is I had to buy this from a hair salon. This is they call it Clear Developer, but it's the hydrogen peroxides. And then I still had a big bottle of muriatic acid laying around. From way back in the day. I guess apparently it doesn't go bad as long as it's sealed. But the chemicals, the fiberglass dust, I used to say that this was a real handy tool to
Yeah.
have in your toolkit. But I don't think that anymore after doing this again. We're spoiled.
It's worth
with
revisiting.
Our quick turnaround PCBs.
Yeah, it was worth revisiting just to change your mind on that and be thankful.
Well,
for
at least to warn other people. Yeah. You know, I guess you can do it if you're in a real pinch like I was, but now looking at it, it's just a weird thing to do in 2026.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that, though. It's definitely interesting. If people haven't experienced that, at least look it up. Look up some videos on YouTube, maybe, and see how that's done. Actually, you should describe the process a little bit. How are you getting a pattern transferred to the board to etch or not etch?
Yes. So we used to use clothes irons, and basically you print the artwork out on a laser printer. You have to have the right kind of laser printer. My new laser printer wouldn't actually work because it was wax based, and so you have to go back to the old toner based. My new is it's a color laser. So I had to go back to a toner base, and then you print it out in mirror image, and then you sandwich the two together, and then you heat it, and that actually transfers the toner to the copper, and then you can peel that off, and you have to scrub the board real good, and then you're ready to finally chemically etch it, and the chemical etching just strips away everywhere that there's not some mask from the toner. And then you're ready to drill, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Very good. Well, thanks for sharing that. It's very cool. And the results, did it work?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. Working in it, all done.
Fantastic. Thanks, George, for sharing that. It's really cool. Yeah, and if anyone's interested, go to YouTube and watch someone etch.
Watch someone else do
boards. Watch someone else do it. Don't do it yourself.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, George. Take care.
Yep.
All right. Hey, that's it for the show and tell. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming by. And thanks for everyone who's in the audience watching and in our chats. I appreciate it. There's over in the Discord, some nice has a GIF playing of someone blowing on a cartridge, worth checking out there for the nostalgia of it. And Todd mentioned, yes, the audio speed module is the module in CircuitPython that Liz was talking about that allows you to speed shift audio samples. So that's working in CircuitPython. Go check that out. That is it for tonight for us. I'll be on tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock Pacific time with John Park's workshop. I got some demo scene stuff to show you. That's what's been playing back here behind me, as well as some updates and progress on my attaché case arcade machine. So please come on by. Thanks everyone so much. For Adafruit News, I'm John Park. This has been Show and Tell. Bye-bye.